What's up, guys? Hey, how are you? Repeat back with you. It is Thursday night. That means we're coming to the end of another NNR week. Trucks and Xfinity have both been able to get it done here at Michigan. Tonight, it's all about the Cup guys taking their turn, getting their bumps and beats and bangs in, and we're going to find out if Rose or Lucky Dog or one of those guys is going to take it back to victory lane, or if a more smoke or Rowdy or the Aviator or somebody else is going to be able to cash in. Man, I'm very, very happy that we're actually seeing the return of NNR God Power or NNR GP as he's been known for many years now. God Power took a little bit of a break from racing after the passing of his uncle. His uncle was very, very instrumental in the way that he was raised. Unfortunately, his dad wasn't always around to help him grow, and his uncle was, and unfortunately, his uncle passed at a very, very young age of only like 32 or something like that. So we're gonna have a bit of a special tribute for his uncle and his family as we get going. Definitely looking forward to that. But as always, bringing you guys up to speed with the guys in the booth are getting ready to call this great race with me. Of course, you got Expert Racing. He's got a great little podcast. We'll talk some more a little bit about that, since that the next episode will be tomorrow night. And then Cowboy, NNR Cowboy, he's going to rejoin as well. So, gentlemen, looking forward to a whole lot of fast driving. We've got 25 cars that are going to be on track, and they're all going to be decked out in some form of camo, which we're going to talk about that in just a little bit as well. Before I bring you guys in, we got to get our buddies over at Madison Rising to get our anthem in. We all love this country, absolutely appreciate it. So, ladies and gentlemen out there in chat, please stand if you would and rise. Madison Rising, thank you very much.
So proudly we hail, and the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the were so gallant we are the brave. We'll fight to rename the name of the fray. We are the US of A. For those unaware, that flag is still there. It's our future to save. This land of the brave, the US of A. Oh, say, just that star-spangled banner again wave for the land of the free. In the home of the
All right, big thank you to the one and only Madison Rising for allowing NNR to use their version. And just like Vol says out there in chat as he's dropping 1,776 bits, Vols, you are the man. 1776, absolutely big year in our history. Man, Vols, thank you, buddy. But again, big thank you to Madison Rising for allowing NNR to use their version of the national anthem at the onset of every single one of our NNR Cup Series races. And because NNR iRacing, it will be part of Max Speed TV when we kick off the real NNR season in June, when the one and only NNR Vols, or TN Vols, takes over that channel. You will see that anthem at the start of every one of those races as well, and I couldn't be more pumped. So as I said just a little bit ago, we do have both NNR Cowboy and Expert TV live in the booth tonight. Expert, I think Cowboy stepped away for just a second, buddy. How you feeling, and what you thinking about tonight's race, man?
Well, right now we've had a great past two races with the Xfinity and Truck Series, and now we are heading into the Cup Series here tonight. We've seen a lot of great action the past two nights. It's definitely going to be an exciting one. We have a field full of very talented drivers, and I know they are going to end up putting on a show tonight, not only for us, but our fans watching here as we bring them some more NNR action.
Yeah, NNR, arguably the best default racing league on Xbox, hands down. You put these guys up against any other community, and they will come out on top just about every single time. And oh, by the way, I don't know if y'all saw, but that race that series of races that they just wrapped up, it was an NNR driver taking that one all the way home as well, with CGMX Rose getting it done there. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the first time he's back on track since he won that championship. Rose, if you're out there, if you watch this later on, congratulations. Cowboy, you're back. It's Cup time. What are you thinking? Who do you got tonight, sir?
I'm going to go with Stout tonight. Driver of the number 2.
All right.
I watched him in that race a couple weeks ago that was televised, and just watching him and just hearing him, I'm going to pull for him tonight.
Stout Whiskey absolutely got it done. Just a couple of short weeks ago, he made no bones about sending Rose down into the grass when it was all said and done. So Stout has absolutely been driving, it seems like, with just a little bit more with a little bit more purpose, rather. Expert, who do you got?
Right now, I'm going to be pulling for a guy that, it's really hard to pull against him at any place, anywhere on track. I'm going to go with Lucky Dog. I think he's going to have a shot to possibly win this one. I know you and him have commentated a lot of races so far this season. I think he could come out here and pull a victory at Michigan.
That's not a bad choice either. There's been one guy that has been up front each and every one of these past few races that I've done, and each time it seems like he gets gypped at the very, very end. I'm going to go with the 9 of Amore Smoke. He just about got it done a couple years back when Dohar snuck underneath him for the win in that phenomenal 4-wide finish that they had. Then he was very, very close to Stout and Rose when Stout got the win just a couple of short weeks ago. I'm gonna go with a more smoke tonight. I think he's gonna get that 9 across the line when it matters first and put him back into victory lane. He hasn't seen a victory since about after week 5, so I think that he is absolutely due. Just got an invite from the one and only J-Pot, so we're gonna get set up to get in here and get going. I'm going to send over your invite right now, expert, and then I will get you right there after, Cowboy. Let's see, invite game. All right. Got you. I got to make you a favorite when I get to you.
I'm old.
Let's see, invite game, yes. And change friendship and add you as a favorite. Submit. All right, so we're gonna get in here and get going. Now I mentioned in the beginning that we are gonna have a special tribute pay slap, and God Power. If I'm pretty sure he's back in the 1 car. I'm not 100% sure. It's been a while. Pretty sure that's where he was before, but you're going to see that most of these cars out here, they're going to be rocking some kind of a camo, like a camouflage paint scheme, and it's all for God Power's uncle. So definitely looking forward to it. Getting loaded in right now. Cowboy, I see you out there in chat. I see Vols out there in chat. I saw quite a few others. So we're gonna. There's tell you what. There's the 2 of Stout Whiskey. He's gonna be starting on the pole, and yep, there goes the 1 of God Power. God Power said he was gonna start in the back, so it shouldn't be hard to find him. And there they are. They are all lining up 3 wide behind him. And guys, I tell you what. How about this? As soon as I can find it, God Power's uncle. All right, looking over him with a big old smile, as he should. You could see behind him you see the rest of the field. I'm actually going to move this over just a little bit. There you go. So, God Power, you know that. Just like in this picture, your uncle's got to be absolutely smiling down on you, happy about the young man you are. I'm glad to know you. All these guys here in this race, we're happy that you're back. It's you're going to be a great guy, just because of what looks like the kind of man that we all see. And to give y'all a little bit of information about him, it says Uncle was like a dad. He loved hunting, fishing, cars, taught me how to be a good dad even when mine couldn't be around. Unfortunately, he died way too soon. Man was born April 27th of 1988 and died November the 2nd. So, way too young to pass. God Power, you just know that he'll forever be looking over you and taking care of you, buddy. If that don't choke you up, nothing does. God Power, everybody here in NNR loves you. You're a hell of a guy. Let's take the rest of this slap in silence. All right, God Power's going to go ahead and pull on over. He said that he's going to go ahead and start way in the back. He hasn't been on track for a while. Absolutely special recognition to Miss Krista Widgeon out there in chat. Says his uncle was a kick-ass man. That's right, I said kick-ass man, Vols. A great dad to his 3 girls and my boys. Miss Widgeon, very, very sorry to hear about the passing. We all know that God Power took it very, very hard, and man, with that kind of a guy in your life, absolutely understandable. And again, very, very sorry to hear about his passing. All right, so we're gonna get ready to get this all set back up. We mentioned that Stout Whiskey. He's gonna go ahead and start on pole. So we're gonna go ahead and go through the field as we always do. So again, the 2 of Stout Whiskey. He's got the 95 of Jose 95 to his outside. 42 is CGMX Rose in P3. Then we got in 4th place, we got the 21 of Parzival, my Silent Hunter. Then we got the 13 of Lucky Dog. 48 of Old Aviator sitting back there in P6. 18 of Rowdy, ready to get it done. 36 of NNR Boehner. Then we've got the 9 of Amore Smoke with the 14 of Jay Quims to his outside. 8 car of NNR Smitty. Looks like these guys are going green already. So we got the 41 of Dan the Lawn Man. 1 of God Power. The 22 of J-Pot. There's the 16 of Trip. Here's the 22 of J-Pot. We've got the 27 of Captain. The 6 of Asylums. 38 of Fatless Dig. The 4 car of Natty Dread. 20 of Old Dr. Bush. We got the 32 of NNR Drake. The 34 of Trippy Tricks. Mike Honcho rocking that 53, 24 of NNR Coey, the 12 of Knights, and we are back up front. Expert coming to the line, completing lap 1.
Definitely, and these guys are already putting on a show. The 42 all over the bumper, Stout Whiskey up front, and a lot of guys, it's camo for as far as the eye can see here with this tribute, but the 21 of Parzival, I think that's, I'm sorry if I butchered the name right there. He tried to hold his own on the inside, but a huge line of cars with that momentum on the outside coming up there. I believe that's the 18 giving a push to the 42, and now we have a new leader here at Michigan.
Yeah, 42, CGMX Rose. Cowboy, I think you took him for tonight, if I'm not mistaken. So might be flexing a little bit of muscle here pretty quick, side by side at the line with the 2, and now we're going to take it 3 wide, going into 1.
Actually, Pete, that guy in the middle is Stout Whiskey. That is the guy who I took
my bad.
the number 2. It's all right. But they look to be coming off strong off turn 2, a lot of 2x2 tonight.
Yeah, a lot of 2x2. I have a feeling they're running normal draft. First 3 rows are all double wide. Now going through turns 3 and 4. Rose with a little bit of momentum down on the bottom. He's got the 48 of the Aviator, which is absolutely going to be very, very strong tonight. But Stout Whiskey's got the 9 of Amore Smoke up high. Looks like the 42 is going to go ahead and lead that lap. Now Expert, now they're 4 rows deep, all double file. I think this is something we're going to see all night long.
Definitely. We've seen it in the previous 2 races, but it looks even more heightened here in this one. Even in normal draft, this track, as we mentioned several times so far this weekend, it races a lot like a plate track in which these pushes and trying to get organized in a certain line to be able to make that high side work, you do need help up there. So these guys are going to be very dependent on the other cars around them to be able to get runs and maintain positions. It's going to be a long race for a lot of guys, especially if they get out of this main pack.
You know, I apologize to every single Dale Earnhardt fan out there. Our biggest fan, right, as well as, I mean, y'all can see the stuff that's over here. Since we missed lap 3, how about this? When we all get over to start off, I think this is lap 5 now. Or we can wait till lap 7 for his 7 championships. Actually, yeah, we'll do that. We'll be a little bit more prepared for it. But CGMX Rose down low, 48 right there as well. There's the 21, the 38, the 2-car Stout Whiskey now dropped from the pole, sitting about P8 under fire from the 22 of J-Pa, going to the backstretch, Cowboy.
Yeah, I'm riding along with God Power and just looking up in front of him, Pete. It is a hornet's nest in front of him. You got two wide. You got people trying to protect the inside, the outside. He seems to be in a little bit of traffic, but he's riding patiently, and I'm sure he's going to be making his moves up to the front here soon.
Absolutely, expert. We got one lap until we start lap 7. We're coming to the line right now for 6. What are we going to see this lap? Are we just going to stay as we are, which looks like they just took the flag, or what are you thinking? Are we going to get spread out anytime soon here?
Definitely not with the cars you have back here. There's a lot of guys that are staying in these lines. Like I said, it looks a lot like a plate race, and how apropos the king of plate races being Dale Earnhardt Sr. this time around for the tribute lap for him. Go ahead and take it away, Pete, as we're getting out of 4.
Yeah, coming out of 4, going to head to get to that start stripe, and we'll take one more lap and silence here. Dale Sr. While we go ahead and rock the silence, how fitting is that to just hear motors on the track? This is with the normal draft. You might as well just call it a mini Daytona or a mini Talladega, Auto Club or any other track that is so aero reliant. But man, Cowboy, these guys are doing a phenomenal job. I'm glad when all that happened that the caution didn't come out. I saw a couple guys either get loose or make slight contact a little bit further in the back. Cowboy, you're up, buddy. Thank you very much for the bits. These guys are they're side by side. All the way back, doing one hell of a job.
Yes, sir, Pete. They are. And talking about those cars that were getting loose out back there, it looked like it was a Banner, and it was also the 8, and it was our friend Lucky Dog in that little squabble that they had coming out of 2.
I tell you what, more than a cape out there saying, I'm no Dale Sr. fan, I'm with Martin Truex Jr. I tell you what, I didn't move over to MTJ until after Sr. passed, then I went to Dale Jr. After Jr. retired, I went on to Hometown Boy, and he's done good. Martin Truex Jr., man, you gotta rep a guy that's close to where you grew up, and it would be pretty cool to see Truex do very well this season. We're getting to this only the second race of the real season coming up, but we are actually winding down with this NNR season. After tonight, there's only 5 races before we get to the postseason, Vols or expert.
Definitely, and a lot of these, you're gonna mix me up with Vols. It's okay. He's a great commentator. I'll take that as a compliment. But it's going into the postseason. It ramps up the pressure for a lot of guys who may be on the outside looking in. One of these races to where it could possibly be a toss-up is a place where a lot of guys that are on the outside looking in could look to make up points, or guys who are looking to try to move up in the standings a little bit, even if they're already locked in, just to secure it a little bit more. This could be a place where guys try to be a little bit more aggressive to get points, because this is a place where speed kind of equals out. Of course, you'll have the usual guys who are extremely fast up front, but this is a track to where the guys who normally don't show that much speed can get up there and try to battle with these guys and try to get the points that they so desperately need.
Man, I tell you that I was just riding on board with the 42 with CJMX Rose, Cowboy. He's got the 48 of the Aviators kind of pushing along. Then you got the 14 on the bottom. Here comes the 9 of Amore Smoke up high. I'm loving the camo that these guys came up with at almost the last minute. God Power wasn't sure whether he was actually going to come out and race tonight. I'm very, very glad that he did. I'm hoping he's going to be here from now on. He was a great help to me the other night in iRacing, after I made some contact with some guys that spun off of turn 4 as some went down pit road. I was able to steer it over to the right at the last second, and he was out there working or at a buddy's house. I think it was Ferret Man's house, and he was able to check out some damage on the back of my truck, and he verified that, yeah, I did need to pit and go ahead and take one of those 200 whatever, I forget what they're called right now, but yeah, I was able to get that truck fixed and get back into contention. If God Power wasn't out there looking out for me, I wouldn't have known. It probably would have been a whole lot slower. Quick repairs, that's what I was thinking of.
Yes, sir, Pete. I was sorry. I was watching. Some of these cars are already making stops on pit road, which we saw last night. Cars who pitted early were able to get that leap once everybody else pitted. I've kind of noticed, too, that we are in 2 different race groups. We got a big, huge pack of cars, about 12 cars deep, and then we got another little pack of cars about six cars deep, and then we got some stragglers along. But I think after the stage ends, everybody gets all those adjustments, and we're going to see 3 and 4 and maybe even 5 wide racing on this track tonight.
Yeah, we saw 5 wide for a couple of spots last night during the Xfinity race, and big congratulations again to King Mathers for getting that done. One hell of a race. They kept it together for the most part. There really wasn't a whole lot of separation. They put on one hell of a race. I said in that series they've got 10 different winners over the course of their season. Man, that just goes to show the kind of skill that series has. And just before this race kicked off, we had a guest. Old Cinepuse was in here for a little bit, and he'll be making his Xfinity start next week, as well as the Shadow Racing League restart coming this Sunday about 5:30 Eastern. For everybody out there that has their notifications turned on, this is going to be one very, very busy channel. Cowboy dropping another 500 bits. I saw Rock NASCAR drop 3. Then I saw him drop another 7 after we were talking about the 7 championships for Earnhardt Seniors. So, guys, thank you very, very much. Looks like we've got one guy now that's been able to go on up and grab the lead and kind of hold the rest of the line at bay. But then again, here we are coming off of 4 at the start stripe, side by side one more time. Brody42, thank you very much for the follow, sir. Welcome to NNR. Talk about a camo car expert. Look at this 8 car, a little bit further in the back, riding around right now with the 12 of Nights. He's got that Realtree car. It fits just perfect with tonight's theme, honoring old God Power's uncle that unfortunately passed. Big fan of hunting and fishing and everything that he'd need camo for. He's going to go ahead and bring that 8 Realtree machine down pit road. Little loose under, brake hard into the inside wall. Very unfortunate for NNR Smitty.
Yeah, there goes the commentator curse. We've already triggered it.
Yeah, very, very unfortunate. Smitty, man, I apologize, sir.
But to say,
go
we've
ahead,
been on
expert.
a good roll though. We've been on a good roll. We haven't done that all weekend until that point though. But right now, you were mentioning God Power, and God Power has been sitting pretty right now. He's been on the outside of the top 10. And now, as you mentioned the pit strategy, he's going to try to get it woed up and head into pit road with the rest of these guys as the 41, the 1, and the 9 all go down pit road right here. But right now, Cowboy mentioned it earlier, this big pack is still together. And even though a few of them have separated to go down pit road, this pack that has dominated pretty much this entire race. After green flag pit stops the previous 2 nights, we've seen these packs kind of separate as guys were exiting at different paces or were able to get better entrances into pit road. So it's interesting to see how this race will change as these guys complete the pit cycle and see who actually comes out in the lead.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. Cowboy, after pit stops, they generally get very, very spread out. This is the most amount of cars that we've had on track all week long, about 25. So far, no server bumps. I haven't seen anybody lag out. Really haven't seen any lag out of anybody, even with a lot of the weather and how it's affecting several parts of the Northeast and Central America. So these guys doing a pretty good job. And we've seen some great racing so far. Again, about to get spread out, but I imagine that they'll probably try to get lined up and get going back at it. Next time old Boehner comes across the start stripe with one of our onboards, we'll go ahead and grab a lap count as we continue to cycle around.
Pete, I'm watching Stout and J-Paw. They just came to pit road and talking about people. I know y'all said the commentator curse. Sometimes we talked about that last night with the expert. He was asking me about coming into pit road, more on the pavement or on the dirt. Sometimes even coming in on the pavement, you come in a little too fast and lock up a tire and they'll spin you out.
Absolutely. If you've got a wheel, you can actually go into the settings on the game and lower the sensitivity of your brakes. If you don't do that, and you know that you've got a very, very short time to get that car woed up before you get down pit road, and you just jam on those brakes, you can absolutely lock them up, get all sorts of out of whack, and end up either in the outside wall, in the inside wall, or end up going through the grass because you miss it all together trying to catch the car.
Looking
right,
at these guys,
I was just going to say, as Boehner, sorry about that moment of silence. As Boehner comes across the line, we've got 4 laps remaining. And one bad thing about all this, guys, is most of everybody is in a custom car. So I'm not exactly sure who our leader is, but I can tell you that Boehner is on the backstretch with them. I'm going to guess it's probably right between the 9 and the 42 that we're on right now. It could be the duo just ahead of them, but not 110% sure as I'd like to be. Cowboy, I'm seeing a whole lot of tandems here, but it seems like everybody's picked up somebody to push or shove down both sets of these straightaways.
Yeah, Pete, I'm riding on. I don't know, like you said, who's leading, who's not. I'm riding next to the 48 and with Stout right now. As they're look like they're the front cars going off into turn 3, and I believe that may be God Power with them. It kind of looks like him. No, it's the 27, but they are about 8 cars ahead of the 42, and so we'll see what happens of who's going to win the stage.
Yeah, I think I might have actually just landed on first or second. I think that was my answer right there, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see, as Boehner comes across the line, I just saw a little bit of a wiggle. No, okay, I saw a little bit of a wiggle out of the 95 and the 21. I'm guessing it's just a little bit of a lag by that 95. Ended up with a little bit of separation between him and the 21 of Parsville, and that's going to allow the 9 of a more smoke and the 42 of CGMX Rose to pull right back up. So I'm going to guess that this right here is the battle for first. 95 of Jose's got the spot, and the 3 behind him that are getting closer and closer. We can hear that Jaws theme clicking along. I don't think it's going to be long before they catch that 95 and possibly even go ahead and pass them. But as they say, catching somebody is one thing, passing them is completely different. Expert, what do you got?
Definitely, and when it comes down to the stretch, these guys that are all pushing with each other, it's going to turn to a point to who's going to make the move. I mean, we asked that question a lot at play tracks, and we made that comparison a lot. But who's going to make the move? Who's going to step out and try to go with somebody else to try to put themselves in a position to win? As we are 4 wide off of turn 4 here in this group, as Stout Whiskey now backs out of it, but 4 wide at one point, and Jay Quim is going to move to the front of this pack as well, as I believe that's the end of the stage.
Yep, end of the stage. We'll check with our onboard. Hopefully Boehner will scroll on up to let us know who it was. Let's see, not 100% sure, but I can tell you that stage 2 will have 30 laps. It could have been Stout Whiskey that grabbed that stage. Again, I apologize.
Or Jay Quim. Jay Quim was the first car in that lineup there. The
All right.
1448, they were 1-2 in that pack up there, but we never know. They don't give us the tools, Pete.
Yeah, unfortunately we don't have that tool that gives us the full lineup at the top, and it's not like iRacing where we can run a sim app and get it either. So very, very unfortunate, but you know what? I can let it go. These guys are out here with their camo schemes doing all they can for God Power and his mom. Again, all of NNR's thoughts and prayers are with the Widget family. We know that it's been a few months now, but that doesn't really mean a whole lot when it comes to the passing of a loved one. Just know that all of NNR is with you. Expert going through 1 and 2 for the first time here in stage 2. The flag is up, the flag is out. Here we go.
Definitely, and you can see these guys already getting and forming up those lines like we mentioned before. The 14 trying to move to the outside of that 27, as well as the 48 and 2 battle behind them as to see who's going to be the better pusher into and off the exit of these corners, as these guys all over the back bumpers of the respective leaders of each line going down the front straightaway. And it's going to be a big question. We mentioned it several times this weekend about the banking that these corners provide, about the runs you can get off this corner, as you're about to see this 14 getting a nice run on the outside of the 27, and he's going to be challenging for the lead here as Stout, and that too is going to push him out to the lead.
Yeah, Stout gave the 14 a big old shove. And 48 thought about making it 3 wide. He pulled to the inside of the 27. 27 got a little squirrely, made some contact to the car to the inside, but no harm, no foul. The 48 to 2, they're going to make some contact. Here comes the 27, a big train coming on that bottom line. 48 had no choice but to give him the line, but that's also going to make the 27 very slow through the corner. I would imagine Stout Whiskey's going to be able to get back in the gas and pull some distance back on that high side. Yep, here comes that momentum with Jose 95 right in his back pocket. Again, Cowboy, they're side by side all the way down the back stretch heading into 3.
Yeah, Pete, as we pick them up here in turn 3, watching them go side by side, they're just letting that front car get out there a little bit. But with someone who gets into the turn a little deep like that and has to check up more, it bunches this field back up. And the people in the back I've been watching are making moves, positioning themselves high, low, trying to get up to this front pack. They do not want to get further back before we have another set of stops in this stage.
No, they don't want to have to stop. I mean, none of them go 30 laps. So everybody's going to have to come on down pit road. And when I was checking in with Boehner and his Select Blinds 36 Ford, the reason that he finished way in the back, he tried taking as little gas as possible and ended up almost running out of gas. So I think he finished stage 1 in like 22nd spot, something like that. But he's rebounded pretty well with 23 laps to go, and he's sitting in P18 right now. So I'll have to see what Boehner can do to try to get back up to the top. Oh, Expert, you've got a call in chat talking about the NNR iRacing series that's going to be kicking off here very, very shortly. We're actually running our full Auto Club race tomorrow. Vols would like to hear your best promo talking about Cowboy, NNR Coe, and everybody else that's got this great series up and running, getting through the test phases. They want to hear what you got for them.
Well, I know Terry's going to rip me a new one with this, but either way, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, do you want all your best NNR merchandise and some of the newest NNR content provided by this channel and VolsFan88? We'll go ahead and hop on www.nnrleague.com, where you can check out all the new iRacing stuff as far as merchandise. And of course, the tab in which you can sign up to be a part of the NNR iRacing League, as well as these guys are getting ready to provide a lot of fun racing for you guys coming in the near future. Be sure to also follow VolsFan88 on Twitch so you do not miss a single thing about that league as well. And also, like I mentioned before, be sure to check out the merchandise, because we already know that VolsFan wants to sell even more of those NNR iRacing League towels. So go ahead.
I
Go
tell
ahead
you
and check
what,
them out.
I tell you what, for being Johnny on the spot, buddy, you couldn't do any better. Vols, leave the young buck alone. He didn't know that was coming, and he just spouted that out off the top of his head. Good job there, buddy. Even Vols said,
Alrighty,
now
thank
that's
you.
a promo. Awesome job. So, Cowboy, we got a new leader. Old the Deuce, my pick to get it done. He's got the 14, the 48, and the 95 right behind him. A lot of very, very fast cars. A little bit of side drafting, a little bit of dancing all the way down the backstretch in the middle of the pack. Big run by the 48, tried to take P3 from that 14, pulling back to the inside. He did not get on the brake if he tapped it at all until the very end. He had a huge run coming.
Yeah, Pete, I'm watching it. These two Fords are leading these package Chevrolets and Toyotas. We got some cars in the grass deeper in the field, but they gather it back up. And I'm just watching Stout. He's testing the low line. He's testing the high line. He knows what he wants for the end of this race. He's probably just sitting back, letting these guys use their stuff up. He's going to probably make a late pit entrance, take just 2 tires and fuel here at the end, and just stretch this lead out that he has right now.
Now, I got to ask you, Cowboy, would you, knowing that you're going to have to pit once here, would you pit early, like maybe right around middle of the stage, or would you wait until everybody's going down pit road and maybe you might lose the draft, but you've got faster tires? You might be able to make up just a little bit, or maybe even just stand your ground. Stout has absolutely proven to have one hell of a set-up car. He's actually able to gain a little bit of distance on the guys that are drafting behind him, and he's still pulling away by about 2.5 car lengths.
Yeah, Pete, it's a flip of the coin. If I'm running somewhere in this top 8 group, I'm going to stay out as long as I can. Now, if I'm in the back like we see NNR, Coe, Knights, and those guys, I'm going to try some strategy, and I'm going to pit early and hope that this stays green, because that's always the flip of the coin. If you get a caution and you are trapped a lap down before you can get back past the leader when he pits, your night is turned into an uphill battle.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And everybody out there in chat, I just mentioned NNR Cowboy about the new NNR iRacing series that we're still in kind of a short 6-week testing run to make sure we get all the kinks worked out, get the roster taken care of, get everybody in there that needs or wants to get in there. His Twitter handle is on the bottom there, at NNR Cowboy 19. Make sure you go ahead and find him on Twitter. Send him a follow. He'll follow you right back. And he is probably one of the best people to talk to about that series, about what we're doing, about how the points are structured, the trucks on track. That's right, I said trucks. We're going to be running a full truck series starting in June once Vols gets his butt back from South Korea. And, man, it's going to be one hell of a season. I started one race last week. I finished 15th. I finished 11th in our practice race the other night at Auto Clubs. We got a big wreck right in the middle of the tri-oval, and that should bring out the caution. Bader hard into the inside wall, bouncing back up to the outside wall, and we will have our first caution. Oh, man, I tell you what, I just talking about doing pretty well on iRacing, and these guys just smacked them all around. Guys, we're going to take a quick little commercial break, but we will be right back. Let's go to that NNRleague.com and take a look around Zazzle just a little bit. What do you think?
Hey NNR fans, are you looking for a way to rep your favorite NASCAR Heat preset league on Xbox Live? Look no further. Just go to NNRleague.com, scroll down to the Zazzle tab, and see what we have to offer. From t-shirts to hoodies to clocks, we have everything you need to show your support. Thanks for being the best fans, and we hope to see you at the track repping that NNR red.
Okay, I'll pick up with it when we get Going Green.
All right, we'll talk about Going Green. Here we go. 2-car stout whiskey, the 9 of a more smoke to the outside. There's the 48, there's the 14. It seems like our top 4, top 5 had been pretty consistent. 9 of a more smoke all over the back end of that deuce, shoving them into 1 and 2. So, Cowboy, we started talking about iRacing, talking about you and Coey really doing everything to get that up and running. What else do people out there need to know about the series and what we're going to be doing?
Well, Pete, as you know, and some of the other people know, we are in our 6th race fun run season. We started for guys who wanted to try out for the iRacing League. Now we will be switching it to Monday nights after this 6th race, and we're going to have an 11 race series. And we've already started implementing the point structure, the rules. We have, I believe, 41 trucks on the roster as of right now. And we will be taking 36 trucks when we head to Daytona here later in the year. See what happens.
Yeah, 36 trucks at Daytona, just like an actual NASCAR truck field, if I'm not mistaken. And just as I say that, looks like the 48 of Aviator, he's going to be able to get on underneath the 2 of Stout Whiskey. Stout Whiskey, go ahead and try that crossover. Here comes the 18 of Rowdy all over the back end, 3 wide at the start stripe. Expert, they're getting dicey.
And that's the scary thing for a lot of these guys is that you don't want to get dicey too early, of course, but right now coming off the pit stop, a lot of these guys are going to try to make up track position, especially with the fresh tires. You don't want to be caught in the middle of the hornet's nest whenever these guys are, and these tires start to even out. Right now is the 48. We were nearly 4 wide there for a bit. Stacking up, here's the 18 drops to the back, spreading out 5 wide, guys into the grass as well. And, I mean, it's just getting even more crazy by the second there, Pete.
Yeah, looking backwards from the 2 of Stout Whiskey, you see the 9 of More Smoke go ahead and take that lead. I saw the 21 of Parzival get shoved down into the grass. He was able to save it. A little bit of fancy wheel and footwork. And then I saw a couple guys in front of him also get a little squirrely, but they saved it as well. That is one thing about all these guys. They do a phenomenal job. They're able to use their track awareness, try to do their best to keep off the car to their outside or whatever. And just as I say that, caution number 2 comes out for something in the field. I didn't see anything behind Stout. This must have happened quite a ways back.
It was contact, it looked like, between the 27 and the 1. And I also believe the 16 of NNR Trip was involved as well. So those were the 3 cars, I believe, that got involved in that incident that brought out this caution.
Well, Cowboy NNR Lee, a guy who used to run in NNR a couple seasons ago, he says he wants details, he wants in. Lee, if you don't already, go on down there at NNR Cowboy 19 and give him a follow on Twitter. You can definitely reach out to you there. Of course, you can always go to nnrleague.com as well. Leave a message there, and Coey will get back out to you. But, man, it's good to see you out there in chat. Good to see you again. Expert, can't really blame God Power for getting into that one. This is his first race back since November. The man is absolutely going to be rusty, and he said he was going to start in the back, but I had a feeling that the racer in him would come on out. He actually started about mid-pack, so not bad for just getting his legs back under him. Going to grab a mid-starting spot. And here we go again, down the backstretch, shoves in both lines, heading into 3 and 4, Cowboy.
Yeah, they head off into 3 and 4, and I'm watching him, Pete. That 2 car, he was 3 wide. Now they're 5 wide behind him, and that is just helping him pull out to this lead. Because when 2 cars are battling, we got cars in the grass, Pete. I think the top 4 only made it through that crash right there. And we've got to be coming to the end of the stage, but there is about 10 cars just sliding through the grass.
Yeah, yep, and it looks like that caution is going to bring out the end of the stage. I'm thinking it was actually the end of the stage anyway. That's why we saw 5 wide. We saw the 9 of a More Smoke get involved in that as well. So now let's y'all want to know how to follow NNR? One more commercial break, and we'll be right back for stage 3.
Hey NNR fans, don't miss any of the action by following or subscribing to Repeat's Twitch channel. Turn on notifications and you'll always know when the best preset league on Xbox hits the track. Check out his YouTube channel too to see all of NNR's past races. Follow No Name Racing as well as Repeat 1975 and others on Twitter, and you'll never miss any of the action.
All right, guys, stage number 3 flag is now in the air. Final stage for everybody. Bowling, thank you very much for those 100 bits. Glad you're out there, bud. Welcome. And it looks like it's going to be the 27 with the 48 of the Aviator 2 is, I'm sorry, it's going to be the 22 of J-Pa working his way up to P2 Stout Whiskey. There's the 48 in P number 4. And then you got the 42 of CGMX Rose rocking out P5. Everybody up along that outside line. And what do you know? They're going to go ahead and make a liar out of me again. J-Pa going for the lead with a big push from the 2, Cowboy.
Yes, they're going too wide at the front. I'm watching the 42. He dove to the outside trying to make a pass on Stout, but Stout is keeping that bottom line pinched down. He is pushing the 22 of J-Paw back out to the lead. They got those Fords rolling high on the bottom, and they are just going to the front trying to get themselves away.
Yeah, the 22 of J-Pa, he's got that double deuce hooked up on that bottom buttock, holding it right there. It kind of looks like he's got that, he's trying to blend in using that camo on that car with that bottom line. You can't see me, John Cena, going into turns 3 and 4. Expert, I thought you might like that one. Completing one more lap, 27 to the outside of the 48.
Definitely, and one thing that the 22, who is currently in the lead, can definitely see is that 2 is Stout Whiskey all on his bumper with the Aviator and the 48 right behind him as well. Right now, the 22 has the pressure all over him with these guys. 2's going to try to look to the outside, but not sure if he has the momentum. 48 looking to the inside, and let's see who's going to get the momentum down the back straightaway. Here comes the 2. He's going to be able to clear, and now diving in to 3 and 4, trying to make a move to the inside, but it doesn't work. Going to have to reset and try it again.
Yeah, the 6 of Asylum's now all over the back bumper of the 2. The 48 of the Aviator has the 41 of Dan the Lawn Man, making his presence known up here inside the top 5, top 6. CGMX Rose, there's the 27. There is I think I just saw the 1 of God Power up on that high side, or it might have been the 24 of Coey. Rim riding all the way around, taking the Dale Jr. or the high, wide, and handsome, high, wide, and handsome Harry Gant line, whatever you want to say, whichever your era. Cowboy going back into 3 and 4. It really looks like the 22 is a bit hooked up. I'm wondering if he's going to have the same car on the long run, or do you think the 2 of Stout Whiskey might be pushing him beyond his means?
I believe Stout is pushing him. Stout has wanted to control this race from lap 1, Pete. He has not fell out of the top 8, but we watched last night. There was a guy started deep in the field with a few laps to go, and he made a power run up to the top 3. So we can see if any of these guys in the back make those same moves. But I believe Stout has this win in the bag tonight.
Yeah, Stout, very, very strong. I mean, you just see him rubbing that paint off the back of that double deuce Ford Mustang 48 of the Aviator. Now he's all over the back bumper of that 22. Stout Whiskey looking to the high side. Thought he might pull down, try to get a little bit of a side draft. 22 just about in the grass. Now he's got a big old push from the 6 of Asylums. They're going to take the high side. Double wide, 3, 4, 5 rows back. Expert, here we go one more time. 22 got the 48 right in tow. 2 still has the 6. 48 says, nah, I'm tired of ducking in. He's going to take it 3 wide. Which line is Stout going to have to block?
Right now, coming off exit, it looks like that 22 and the rest of those guys are stalling out on the high side after that push. He's going to have to find a way to clear Aviator, in which he barely does here. That bottom line was going to be a concern for him if he could get down there, but now that high line's getting formed up again. You have Rose and Aviator up top. You have the 22 and the dominant preferred line there on the bottom, and expect these guys to be pushing and shoving down the back straightaway. The 48's going to get the momentum here as he pulls even now with the 22.
Yeah, pulled even with the 22, working my way back up. There we are right now. 41, Dan the Lawman. 42 of CGMX Rose. There is the 24 of Coey, asserting himself inside the top 6 or top 7. He's got some company behind him, and I think he's in the fastest line, just giving a bit of a shove to the back of that 41. All over the that Mustang. Stout Whiskey moves up to the high side to go ahead and try to block up there. He saw the run that the 48 had coming. Now 22 back down low, 41 down low, 27, he's there, and here comes the 16 of Trip. Hype train! Whoop whoop!
Right now, looking at these guys, and it's starting to get pretty cycled out. A lot of these guys making moves. We're still 4 wide out here. Almost caused an incident right there. NNR Trip was able to back out of it, but 3 wide here behind the top 3, actually top 4, might I add there, as these guys still trying everything they can to battle for a position. One thing that we've noticed, and I'm going to push this over to Cowboy, is that the high line has become more and more used throughout this week, as we saw the trucks not really use it, only at rare times. The Xfinity drivers used it a lot. I believe that's also how King Mathers was able to get back up to the front and set himself up to win last night. And now you see the Cup guys, they were using it a lot, especially earlier, and it showed that it could be a dominant line as long as you got the help. So throughout this weekend, do you think these Cup guys were learning on how to possibly make this a multi-groove racetrack and see what they could do? Or do you just think the speeds ramping up throughout the weekend made that line more available?
I believe it.
Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I thought he asked me that. I was going to say, I believe that the top line, knowing these Cup guys, they probably watched the lower series of the trucks and Xfinity run this week, and they've noticed, hey, I can make moves on the high side too, and we carry a lot more horsepower and speed, so why not just go ahead and we can get back to the throttle a whole lot quicker. And I believe we have caution out somewhere on the field, Pete.
Yes, caution's out with 32 laps remaining here in stage number 3. Vols, Rock, Cowboy, Harvick, Tenacious, Bowling, everybody out. Thank you very much. Man, I am at a loss of words. Guys, we are in a stage 3 hype train. Absolutely appreciate it. There's a big boost by Tenacious, dropping another 200 bits. Cowboy, Expert, Vols out there, everybody. I talk about this community over and over and over again. Sincerely, guys, thank you. Thank you. Oh, man. Duramax getting a gifted sub from the one and only Expert Racing. Expert, we're going back green here. Going to work my way back up to our leader, see who's our control car, and get us back going, bud. Heading into one with J-Paw in the lead.
Definitely, J-Paw was able to get up there, and he's been holding his own in that number 22 machine, being able to hold off guys like Stout Whiskey and the Aviator, but he's got a rear view full of the field right now. These guys are going to start making these multiple lines work once again. The 42 of Rose, he's going to dive down and try to make a pass on the 41 here, and the 22 of J-Paw having to go down and block it. So it just shows how these guys are trying to use the separate lines like we were talking about before that caution. And right now J-Paw is having to really defend all these lines, as Stout Whiskey is now making a challenge for P number 2.
Yeah, Stout Whiskey on that high side, Cowboy. These guys doing a phenomenal job. Talking about the 42 with CGMX Rose. He actually took that Valentine's Day, sweetheart, whatever kind of run that was, that 704 put on, and won the championship and won himself $4,000. Not a bad way to start off 2021 on heat, just before some details about the new game got dropped. Not sure if y'all saw that tweet that I sent out earlier. Radman, I think his name is. He dropped a little bit of information. Actually fell asleep. I wasn't able to catch all the details, but I think they set something out there But, this 42 with CJ Max Rose, he's been bad fast all season long. He's got the most wins this season. I don't think he's going to get it done tonight. I just don't see it. There are too many great cars on track.
Yeah, Peter, you talking about Rose in that 42. He won that little series that they had, but the man that sat on the pole and had the most determination was the 2 of Stout, and I believe Stout wants to prove a point and go out here and beat the 42 tonight at Auto Club because he just drove back around him. It looks like Stout's riding up in that 3rd and 4th line on the top, keeping the gas wide open and just pulling moves all the way down as we come to the 10 o'clock hour.
I got it, man. In case the screen went dark, I lost it all. Vols with 5,000 bits out there in chat. Vols, you are the man, and that puts us over the level 5 hype train. Thank you very, very much. Another 35 after that. There's Tenacious. Man, I got nothing, Cowboy. I got nothing. You go ahead and take it.
Well, watching these guys, Pete, it looked like some of them were going to dip down on the pit road. But if I'm Stout here, I'm going to ride behind these guys. I know that pit stops are probably going to have to happen one more time.
Oh
I'm going to try to save a little bit of fuel and save some and try to make this last as long as I can. Because if you can stay out the longest here, come down, get 4 fresh fuel goods and just a little bit of gas, I'm sure you're going to pull away with a win here.
Very, very possible. Guys out there in chat, y'all are just absolutely phenomenal. 4 wide right now for P number 3, 48 of the Aviator down low. 2-car Stout Whiskey, the double deuce just above him. And there's the 18 of Rowdy. But the 9-car of More Smoke, my pick for the race. I've seen him lose it a couple of different ways. Right now he's got that 9 Camaro in clean air, all kinds of just room to run no matter what line he wants. I see the 18 to the outside, a little bit of lag shot right there. I'm not quite sure who that was or what caused it, but there's a huge wreck in the back. I imagine we're going to have one more caution, and yes, we are. 24 laps remaining here in stage number 3. Man, guys and gals, whoops, wrong one. Make sure you go on over to nnrleague.com. Under the Zazzle tab, you'll see some brand new merchandise that Coey just created. One of them is a beautiful dark blue or navy colored towel with the NNR, the new blue never looked so good kind of towel with Vols' channel right on there. It's a little bit bigger than a hand towel. Looks really, really nice. His wife tweeted a picture of it not too long ago. They look phenomenal. There's a couple different ways you could take care of the shipping, which nobody's ever dropped. You could pay $9.99 for unlimited shipping for however many orders you place either on the spot or down the road. That's $9.99 a year. Or you could pay just the standard shipping. I'm waiting on my new NNR shirts as well as a mug I just ordered the other day. Guys, go on over nnrleague.com under the Zazzle tab. Order yourself a towel or whatever it is you want. Tell them Repeat sent you. Good luck.
Yeah, Repeat talking about that Zazzle stuff also. Get on over there and check out that merchandise. I saw Coey had put some new stuff wanting to get some looks for the iRacing guys. They are going to be running the NNR blue logo on the iRacing side. That way they can distinguish who's the iRacing and the Heat guys from the Heat will run red and iRacing will run blue. But all of us are one big family together. And Pete, it looks like a hornet's nest from back here watching Stout deep in the pack. They are 4-5 wide in front of him going off into turn 1.
I tell you what, man of the hour, the one of God power now leading the field. Welcome back, NNR GP's got the 48 of the Aviator right in tow, but he's got that Aris Camaro in the wind. 48's going to try a little bit of a side draft, going to pull underneath the 1. Looks like the 27's going to follow suit, but welcome back, GP. Probably nice to lead at least at all after being away for, 4 months. Man, it's good to see you back up front, buddy. Here we go, Expert. 48's got it back in the clean air, but he gave up that bottom line. 27 searching. 48's able to stay in the gas just long enough to seal off that bottom line. He's got that car back up front, hoping that he can control which lines come as they come up. 1175 KCC, thank you very much for the follow, buddy. Welcome to NNR.
Definitely, these guys are getting wild here, and y'all were talking about, the iRacing League and everything earlier and how we're all one big family.
Yep.
Well, we all know the one guy in chat. He supports Repeat the most and criticizes me the most as well. But I love him, my podcast co-host, and all of our great friend. He's a great friend of all of us, and he's probably one of the most generous people we know. Well, congratulations to him and also to NNR iRacing, as earlier today, even though he's not going to be here to see this, I don't think he's still out there, but earlier today he was able to seal a sponsorship for his channel in the NNR iRacing League. And just, I'm going to take my shot at another promo just so he can tear this one apart as well. But ladies and gentlemen, the very first sponsor for VolsFan88 channel, the Swift Lifestyle. They have some wonderful merchandise, including shirts, cups, vitamins, shakers, game fuel, all that stuff. Kind of like the pre-workout stuff, except exclusively for gamers. Gamers use it to stay focused, energetic, and of course, you can too. Head over to swiftlifestyles.com and be sure to use the code NNR iRacing for 15% off your order. Be sure to go check that out to support iRacing and everyone's favorite VolsFan88.
There you go. There you go. I tell you, Cowboy is getting pretty good at that. Not bad at all. He's damn good with the graphics, and he's got kind of the voice. He's got that little bit of a knack, Cowboy. What you think?
I think he's doing very good. I'm glad Expert is here with us tonight, and I hope that he, even though he's not with us on the iRacing side, he tunes into your channel tomorrow, Pete, if you're broadcasting, to give some in-car little races, a little fun of what we're going to be doing tomorrow. I know a few of us will be having our Twitches up tomorrow. If anybody wants to tune into them, they can always type in the NNR stuff and go and watch, follow us all on Twitter, follow NNR Sim League on Twitter, and it has all the info of when any of these NNR races go live.
Oh, I don't know if this is an early retiree. The 9 of Amore Smoke right now sitting on pit road, and it looks like his car is still not. I know that Amore Smoke, he actually doesn't live too far from me. He's actually in a part of North Carolina that got hit heavy by ice. He might have lost power, not 100% sure, but my pick is now out the window. So it's between you two right now, but right now I believe it's still the 48 of the Aviator. He's got that Camaro in the wind. One of God Power, the 27, the 22, old double deuce of J-Pop, 14 right behind him, the 32 of NNR Drake, and here comes Boehner up that bottom side as well.
Yeah, Pete, I'm watching, and Stout is making moves up through the field. He's picking them up 2 to 3 cars a lap, and he is a man on a mission. He just passed 3 cars out of there. We have a car that may be experiencing a little lag. Stout was able to get past that. The 34, I see him weaving all over as we have a caution. This is going to benefit him. They can come in, get some tires, and it's going to be nothing but the end of this race tonight.
Yeah, I tell you what, the cautions that we're seeing tonight are very, very unusual for NNR. Most of the time they go green. I mean, I think at the mid-season point, including stage breaks, they average like 3.4 cautions per race. So that goes to show you that they do run green for the most part. There was a little bit of contact there between the 1 and I think it might have been the 32 to the outside. So I'm not 100% sure. But man, we're gonna get going here one more time. Working my way back up to the front. 1175 KCC wants to know how he can join. 1175, go on over to nnrleague.com under the contact tab. Leave a message for NNR Coey. He will get back to you. or if you've got Twitter, go to NNR Sim League or at NNR Sim League and follow and then message from there, and either Coey or Stout Whiskey or one of the other admins will get back to you. I think the Truck Series is still looking for a driver or two. There's some more information that you'll need to know afterwards, but if you can race on Tuesday nights right around 9:30 Eastern, give or take, you might be you might be able to get you into a seat as Bama shouts out, "Roll Tide!"
Clemson Tigers.
Get going.
Oh boy. Expert, I used to thought you were a good man. Now your school points have been out the window.
It's okay. Terry thought the same thing after the Brady bet, so I mean, it's okay.
So here we are back up front. It looks like the 20. I'm sorry, that's going to be the 14 of Jay Quim. He's got P2 right in his sights. P2 still. That's going to be NNR GP or God Power. God Power all over the back end of that 48. So the roles have been reversed here, Expert. Before it was the 48 pushing the 1 until he decided to duck down, getting to the end of the backstretch. Now the 1 of God Power, he's behind the 48. 48 blocks him all the way down to the apron. He's not going to let him back up. God Power says, "Buddy, I need room. Help me out here."
Definitely, and one thing you don't want to get is on that apron, because what just happened right there will happen. Contact between the 1 and the 48, and just as predicted by both me and NNR Cowboy, who's the 2 guys behind God Power right now just finding their way up to the front? Stout Whiskey and Old Lucky Dog. Both of these guys, it's always inevitable that these guys will try to race their way up to the front and be there at the end, just like King Mathers last night. And here they are, Aviator, Stout Whiskey, and of course Lucky Dog all up there. Stout's now going to get shuffled, and here comes Lucky Dog trying to make a bid for P number 1.
Yeah, Lucky Dog now riding behind the 1 of God Power. He's got a little bit of separation. Back to Lucky, back to Stout Whiskey, back to the 48 of the Aviator. They're side by side for P3. Lucky Dog all over the back of that 1. Little bit of side draft to his right rear. God Power says no. Keeps it down on the apron. Now he's got a mirror full of the 2 of Stout Whiskey all the way through 1 and 2. Lucky Dog holding up high. Cowboy, I don't know how much longer he can hold out. He's got 2 very fast cars sitting right behind him.
Oh yes, Pete, I'm watching it. You got the 1 of God Power, the 2 of Stout Whiskey. Whiskey is pushing God Power back out to the lead, because that's going to benefit him to try to clear that high lane. As now we have the 6, the 14, they go underneath Stout. Stout's trapped in the middle. He's trying to find a spot either up high or down low. The 14 comes down, that way the 2 can get a little bit of a draft. But Stout is in the middle of this pack, and he has got to get into a different line and get some clean air on this car so he can make his move back to the front.
I tell you what, guys, I got to do this right now. As soon as I can find my mouse, here we go. This looks just like it did at the beginning of the race. I got to put his uncle overhead, watching on, smiling as NNR GP continues to lead this field all the way through 3 and 4. He's going to move on up across the line. Got at least 1 more. Comes on down to the apron, slams the door shut, keeping the lead. 13 still looking low, looking high. God Power using his mirror, using everything that he's ever learned about racing to hold them back. And we've got a cautions out on track.
And right now under caution, you know, Terry was mentioning we didn't do another promo for him. So, you know, you mind if I give it one more shot while we're at it here under caution?
Go right ahead, please.
Alrighty. Let's see. Can I improve a little bit more here? All right, so of course we know as racers, winning is everything in racing. So go to the place where you can always win with great merchandise, racing, and live coverage. Go visit nnrleague.com and click on the Zazzle tab to go buy some of the fastest coffee mugs, shirts, and towels in league racing, as well as the brand new iRacing merchandise featuring the great Vols Fan 88. Be sure to follow Repeat 1975 to not miss out on any of the NNR content on console, and be sure to follow Vols Fan 88 to not miss out on any of the NNR content on iRacing. Also, be sure to follow NNR on Twitter at NNR Sim League and check them out on Facebook at at No Name Racing League to not miss out on any of the NNR action.
There we go. Cowboy back under green going into 1 and 2. It's going to be the 14. I did it before. 27 looks very, very similar to this 14. But Jay Quim, he sent out a tweet very, very early, and now he's got a new player. It's going to be the 8 car of Smitty all over his back bumper. 13 of Lucky Dog to the outside. Here comes the 48, the 34, and others. Lucky going high, wide, and handsome, trying to get that high line moving. 14's going to be too strong, back into gas, taking that line, shoving some cars out to the grass. But we'll have to see if that brings out another caution. These guys are absolutely duking it out.
Yeah, Pete, they're going 2 and 3 wide. I believe we have another caution on the field. I was watching. We had some people from the back of the field, like NNR Coey and Smitty, who's been running in the back of this pack all night, giving these front runners a run for their money. And
that's going to be the race.
That is the race.
All right, so it looks like 13 of Lucky Dog is able to squeak by on the outside. Jay Quim's in P2, Fort Smitty in P3. God Power on his trip back in P number 4. Stout Whiskey brings it home P5. J-Pa, Dr. Bush, Asylums, Boehner, and NNR Drake in that 32 rocking out your top 10. Congratulations to all these drivers. As they continue on their pace lap, guys, go ahead and keep it right here. We're going to let them load into the booth, and then, yeah, we'll be right back. All right, we are back. What a finish to the overall week. Lucky Dog 385 going ahead and grabbing yet another win in what was originally a part-time season, now full-time, doing one hell of a job. So let's go ahead and bring up P3. I believe that was Fort Smitty in that Realtree number 8 Camaro. Smitty, you got me, buddy. Smitty, you there? All right, we'll come back to Smitty. Expert, go ahead and let's see what Jay Quims has.
Alrighty, Quim, you got me, man?
Yeah, I got you loud and clear, brother.
All right, man. You were up there almost all night. You were making wild moves. We've seen you multiple times, 3, 4 wide with a lot of runs. What was it tonight that allowed you to be so successful being up there with these guys and be able to make those amazing moves that we saw all night long?
Man, I don't know. I had a hot rod under that 14 camo Ford that I was able to keep it on the bottom, whether it was 3 wide, 2 wide. I got there with the stage win in the first stage. It was pretty unexpected. I guess the 48 had run out of fuel, but I knew I had something fast. It was just a matter of track position and staying in the draft and not losing it. And a couple cautions there at the end, it got scary. Last caution, I decided not to pit. Didn't realize I was going to take the pole, and yeah, it was a roller coaster of emotions. Pretty much been 15th through the into the field here in the first year in NNR, and getting to run up front, it's amazing.
Definitely. You're on one side of the spectrum when it comes to tracks. You're going to be switching to the other side as you move to Bristol next week. What's your outlook as you head into the last great Coliseum?
Just hopefully a good handling car. Bristol rubbing is racing. It's, over 20 cars most likely at Bristol, so it's going to be a tight field. It's going to be a hard-fought battle, and we'll see what we got there.
All right, man. Well, definitely congrats on the second place. And hey, any shout-outs tonight?
Man, Stout Whiskey, J-Paw, and Dan the Lawman. Those are my dudes.
All righty. Well, moving on now to NNR Cowboy, who is sitting with our leader right now. Go ahead and take care of P number 1.
And with P1 from tonight, we have Lucky Dog, who came to the end of the race. Lucky Dog, tell us about how your race went on tonight.
I can't even put it into words, really. That was so intense. That was crazy. Wow. There was a lot of hard racing, and this is one of my weaker tracks personally, so it was going to be tough trying to make passes, especially with the normal draft. It's just really, if one lane isn't going, and you're just kind of screwed. The start of the race, I was trying to save fuel, but I figured out pretty quick there was no benefit to it. So I was mid-pack, and then GP got loose into Smitty, and then I went airborne and saved it, fell to 25th, got 23rd in stage 1. Worked my way up into the top 10 before that caution in stage 2, and made it up to top 5, and there was just scooted through there, and then I think Rose got loose, or they got bumper hooked or something, and I went airborne, flipping upside down into the grass, just, top of the car on there, landed in the victory circle, which was pretty cool, but got 17th in that stage, so we didn't get any stage points at all. And then we fell all the way back down to 5th. We started 15th in stage 3, made my way back up slowly. I was just trying to keep it as clean as I could, but try and be aggressive. Like, you have to be aggressive in order to make maneuvers here. And I was trying to be aggressive, but trying not to hit guys. I definitely, hit some guys in the back straightaway bumping. And I think there were some points where I was through that middle and guys were ping-ponging or whatnot. It was really rough. And then made up to 2nd. And then a more lag surged into me. I wreck. I'm in the wall in turn 4, and I fall all the way back down to last. So I'm down to 25th, 20 to go. And then just was trying my best to make it through the field. It was really hard. Everyone was going the best that they could. I was trying to push guys up there who I knew I could work with to get up through the field. And then we found ourselves in a prime position in the top 10 before that caution. And then took tires. And then there was another caution, made up to 4th. Took tires again, but some guys stayed out on tires, like Jaquim stayed out on his old tires. And at that point, I was just going for it. I was trying to make sure that I could hug the bottom as best I could. And if a guy washed up a little bit, I had to take it. And we had such a good run, 1 and 2, onto the back straightaway through 3 and 4, just past someone clean on the outside. And I know that was a really long explanation, but I have not done that many passing and have raced as hard as I have in that race. That was intense. And wow, that was crazy. I'm happy we got the win. I wish the race didn't have so many cautions, but man, that was great to score our 5th win.
Well, congratulations on your win tonight. Hope that brings you luck next week at Bristol. Should be a very good race next week. And Pete, I'll turn it over to you.
Well, definitely appreciate it. Lucky Dog, I put your Twitter information out there. Congratulations on yet another win, whether it's in the Pro League during Season 1, Season 2, in NNR, in East Park, in RSR, and wherever else you decide to try to get some seat time. Buddy, congratulations once more. Man, you do a phenomenal job. Expert and Cowboy, we saw one hell of a race tonight. We saw God Power come on back after a very, very emotional time off that he needed to deal with the passing of his uncle. Very good to see him out here. He said he was going to start a little bit further in the back, but as I said, I knew the racer in him would go ahead and qualify. He started mid-pack, was able to get up there and lead some laps. Gotta give a big old welcome back to him. But Expert, final thoughts on tonight, please.
Overall, it was a great race. We saw a lot of side-by-side action, and they kept it interesting. 4 or 5 wide moves at some points in the race. It was a lot of fun to be able to sit down, and it's always an honor to be up here with you and old NNR Cowboy. Can't wait for next week, and Shadow Racing League, of course, going to be kicking off this Sunday, so be sure, if you don't want to miss it as well, be sure, if you haven't already, follow Mr. Repeat here. I'll be actually racing in that one, and of course, be sure to check me and VolsFan88 out tomorrow as we have another episode of the Experts of Racing Sportscast.
Yep, I just dropped your Twitch channel into the chat just now. Coach Mob, yep, you can absolutely reach out to nnrleague.com or follow us on Twitter, and either Coey or Stout Whiskey or J-Pow or any of SWATs or any of the other series admins will get back to you to talk to you about a tryout and what you'd need. But Cowboy, man, one hell of a race. Your second consecutive race back here. What do you think about these Cup guys and the show they put on at Michigan this week?
Oh, man, Pete, it was an awesome race. You know, the high banks, Michigan's a real fun track. Can't wait to see what these guys do next week on the short track. I know it's going to be tempers from tonight are probably going to bowl over. We're going to see some good, tight racing next week, maybe even an old bump and run from somebody. Amazing race the past 2 nights being up here in the booth with you and Expert. I want to thank y'all very much for letting me come up here and spend time with y'all. Very fun.
And I'm going to pass that question along to you that you just asked Lucky. What do you see out of that truck in the next week when the Truck Series heads to Bristol? Cowboy, you still got me?
Yeah, I got you. The Truck Series at Bristol.
Yeah. What do you how are your chances ending up in victory lane just like Chase Elliott did last year in the All-Star race?
Well, I think it's going to be a wild ride at Bristol Tuesday night in the Truck Series. I know we have some guys that they've marked Bristol off on their calendar for weeks now. They're ready to get to some short track racing. The trucks are a lot of fun. The series is a lot of fun. A lot of aggression in the Truck Series. Nobody likes to lose, but we've all been chasing that one guy who's been leading us all year with wins of NNR bowling all season. Maybe one of us can knock him off next week and make a run for him.
Hey, Bristol is known for the bump and run, and what a better place to do it. All right, guys. Well, that is absolutely going to wrap it up for this week. All 3 NNR series have been to Bristol, got it done. Phenomenal set of racing. The Truck Series, they race every Tuesday night right around 9:30 Eastern. Xfinity Wednesday nights about 8:30 Eastern, and then again every Thursday the Cup guys take their turn also at 8:30 Eastern. If you haven't already, go on up, make sure you pound that follow button, hit the subscribe if you can. For all my subscribers, just a couple days ago I shelled out $90 in Amazon.com gift cards. I'll be doing it again probably in about another month's time, give or take. Thank you everybody out there, whether you dropped 1 bit or 5,000 like the one and only TN Vols did just a short time ago. Thank you. All kinds of names out there. Tenacious, Cowboy, Rick James, I think I saw. man, there's just so many. Guys, thank you sincerely from the bottom of my heart. Rock NASCAR, Expert Racing, Cowboy, Vols. I already mentioned Tenacious Z. I mean, I'm sure I'm leaving somebody out there. A Harvick fan, you've been there all night. Thank you all sincerely. Man, got that hype train all the way up to Hype 5, top of the boards. That train arrived in station on time. Couldn't ask for anything better. Oh, man. One more time, nnrleague.com. Go on over, take a look around, look up your favorite driver, look where they are in points, see where we're at in the season. Take a look at the Zazzle tab for all of our fast merchandise. We'll see you again next week from Bristol, but I'll see you tomorrow night from Auto Club over on the iRacing side. Again, make sure you leave notifications on so you know every time we go live. Between now and then, thanks for coming out, hanging out, chatting up, keeping us company. Make sure you wear your mask. Stay away from the big crowds. Let's kick COVID in the rear end so we can all get back to a track. Y'all have a great